Before Christmas, we fell completely in love, and I'm not saying that lightly. I'm saying it the way you say something that still sits heavy in your chest years later, the way you say something you survived. I was there, and this story still feels like it's breathing when I tell it. New York City was loud that December, louder than usual, like the holidays turned the volume knob all the way up and snapped it off. Lights everywhere, horns everywhere, people rushing past each other with coffee cups and shopping bags, smiling and stressed at the same time. And somehow, in the middle of all that noise, Emily felt invisible. She lived in a one-bedroom apartment on the Upper West Side, the kind with thin walls and radiators that hissed like they were tired of working. Her window looked down on a street wrapped in Christmas lights, white and gold, blinking like they were trying to convince people that joy was mandatory. Emily would stand there some nights, mug warming her hands, watching couples laugh under scarves, watching families drag trees down the sidewalk, and she felt like she was watching life through glass. She had friends. She had a job in digital marketing that paid the bills. She had a calendar full of holiday parties she didn't want to attend. What she didn't have was someone who saw her when the city finally went quiet. One night, the snow started falling slow and soft, the kind that changes how sound travels. Cars moved slower, footsteps softened, and the city felt like it was holding its breath. Emily sat on her couch, Christmas movie playing more for background noise than comfort, scrolling on her phone because silence felt heavier than loneliness. That's when she opened an app she hadn't touched in weeks, not expecting anything, not hoping for anything. And that's when she saw his name. Noah. He wasn't flashy. No gym mirror selfies, no forced smile. Just a picture of him in a thick jacket, standing near what looked like a small-town main street, snow piled along the sidewalks. His bio said he lived in Indiana, worked in logistics, liked old movies, vinyl records, and quiet mornings. Emily almost swiped past him. Almost. Something about the simplicity made her pause, like a breath between thoughts. She messaged him first, a short line about snow and Christmas playlists, nothing clever. His reply came faster than she expected. "I'm convinced snow sounds different in the Midwest," he wrote. "It's quieter, like the world gets smaller for a minute." Emily smiled, a real one, the kind she hadn't felt all day. She wrote back about New York never fully sleeping, even in winter. They traded favorite Christmas songs, then movies, then childhood memories that slipped out without planning. Noah told her about decorating the same tree every year with his mom, about how the lights always went on last. Emily told him about her dad driving her around Brooklyn just to look at lights after her parents divorced. The conversation didn't stall. It didn't feel forced. It felt like stepping into a warm room. That night turned into another, then another. Late-night texts became voice notes. Voice notes turned into calls that stretched past midnight. Emily would pace her apartment, barefoot on cold wood floors, whisper laughing so she wouldn't bother her neighbors. Noah would sit in his truck outside his apartment sometimes, watching his breath fog the windshield just to have privacy. They talked about bad relationships, about trust that cracked instead of breaking, about the parts of themselves they usually edited out. There was no rush, no performance, just honesty unfolding at its own pace. December moved forward whether they were ready or not. Christmas music followed Emily into grocery stores, subway stations, elevators. And every time her phone buzzed, her heart jumped in a way that surprised her. Noah started texting her first thing in the morning. "You up?" Turned into "drive safe" and "did you eat?" It wasn't dramatic, it was steady, and that scared her more than anything else. One night, Emily decorated her apartment alone, stringing lights around the window, hanging ornaments she'd owned since college. She sent Noah a picture. He sent one back of his place, simpler, quieter, a small tree in the corner and a record player beside it. "I'd play you something if you were here," he said. Emily sat on her couch, lights glowing, and realized she was planning space in her life for someone she hadn't met. They didn't say the word love yet, but it hovered between sentences, unspoken and obvious. Waiting for Christmas started to feel heavy, like holding something fragile for too long. They picked a cafe in Manhattan for Christmas Day, a time, a song they'd both listened to on the walk there. Noah talked about a letter he was writing, something handwritten because texts weren't enough. Emily wrapped a small gift and hid it in her closet, smiling every time she passed it. Distance hurt now, a dull ache instead of a safety net. Just days before Christmas, doubt crept in. Not from a fight, not from jealousy, but from fear. Emily wondered if reality could match the connection they'd built. Noah admitted he was scared too, scared of messing up something that felt rare. They didn't pull away. They leaned in, choosing honesty over silence. And in that moment, something settled between them, quiet and strong. By Christmas Eve, the city glowed under fresh snow. Emily stood by her window again, but this time she wasn't watching alone. She realized that love didn't wait for permission, and sometimes it arrived before the moment you planned for. And before Christmas, we fell completely in love. Christmas Eve in New York has its own heartbeat, and Emily felt it everywhere she went. The sidewalks shimmered, the storefronts glowed, and the air smelled like pine and roasted nuts and cold metal. She walked slower that night, phone pressed to her ear, Noah's voice steady on the other end. They didn't talk much. They didn't need to. Silence felt shared instead of empty. Noah was packing in his apartment, folding clothes carefully like the trip mattered in a way he couldn't afford to rush. He told her about the letter again, how he rewrote it twice, how his handwriting got worse when he was nervous. Emily laughed, picturing him hunched over a kitchen table, brow furrowed, caring too much. That image stayed with her long after the call ended. Sleep came in pieces. Emily dreamed of airports, missed trains, crowded rooms where she couldn't find him. When morning came, the city felt softer, quieter, like it understood what the day meant. She got dressed slowly, choosing her coat, her scarf, the boots that wouldn't slip on ice. She stood in front of the mirror longer than usual, breathing through the nerves. Noah landed before noon. He texted her a picture of the skyline from the cab, blurry and gray and perfect. "Almost there," he wrote. Emily's hands shook as she replied. She walked to the cafe early, snow crunching under her feet, heart beating loud enough to drown out traffic. The cafe was warm and small, lights strung along the windows, jazz playing low. Emily chose a table near the back, hands wrapped around a mug she hadn't touched. Every time the door opened, her breath caught. Then it opened again, and he was there. Noah scanned the room, eyes searching, and when they met hers, everything else fell away. No dramatic music, no slow motion, just recognition. He smiled, tentative and real, and walked toward her. They stood there for a second too long, unsure, then laughed and hugged, awkward and perfect. Up close, he felt familiar. His jacket smelled like winter and travel. His voice sounded the same, steady and calm. They talked, words tumbling over each other, laughing at nothing, everything at once. The letter came out, folded and worn from being handled too much. Emily didn't read it there. She held it like proof. They walked the city together, under lights, through snow, sharing space instead of screens. Distance dissolved with every step. When night came, they stood on a quiet street, snow falling again, and Noah took her hands. He didn't rush. He didn't rehearse. He just spoke. "I'm in this," he said. Emily felt the truth of it settle deep. She answered without fear. Later, back in her apartment, lights glowing, letter finally open, Emily understood something important. Love didn't start when they met. It started when they chose each other every day before that moment. Christmas became a symbol, not a deadline. And that's the part people miss. Love doesn't arrive all at once. Sometimes it builds quietly, across miles, across nights, until one day you realize it's already yours. Before Christmas, we fell completely in love, and that love changed everything.